Hello, you're very welcome to this episode of my Generation Gap podcast, where you have me, Stuart Vincent Moore, a 50-year-old member of Generation X, talking film, culture, telly, stuff and nonsense with my 18-year-old niece, Harriet Pilkington,
19.
a member, 19-year-old Harriet Pilkington, a member of Generation Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z, yeah. Gen Z. IRH, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Busy week. Ali's not been so good. He's got gallbladder issues like me, so we're a match made in gallbladder heaven. So
Match made in gall.
it's been, yeah. We saw the same consultant that saw me, and she was like, "Not the pair of you." I was like, "Yeah."
Oh no.
So it's been busy, but we watched Wuthering Heights last night, so it's very fresh in my brain.
So I think this will be, because I know we're a generational podcast where we talk about things from our respective generations, and I think this might be the one that splits us the most.
Really?
We'll find out and see.
The biggest split.
I lost you then, H. Say that again. I think this might be the one. It's
fine.
That
I just said really the biggest split.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out and see.
Let's find out. Now, is it going to be the biggest split yet?
Let's find out. I watched this film because we decided to watch this film a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? So I watched it once, and then I watched it twice, and I've probably seen it 3 times now.
Wow.
So let me summarise it and introduce the film a bit, okay? So what we watched was the 2026 version of Wuthering Heights. And that's Wuthering Heights. I'm going to do this because it's Wuthering Heights in speech marks, in quotation marks. Okay. And I know why they've done that.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it excuses it.
Yeah.
It's directed by Emerald Fennell. And
is that a person or a brand?
Emerald Fennell. Is that a person or a frozen vegetable? It's a person.
Okay.
It sounds like this was directed by Tenderstem Broccoli.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It just sounds like somebody just picked something. Pick some words.
No. Emerald Fennell is, she's a director and writer and actor. She's, I think, well, I don't want to say controversial, but she's got her own style. Let's say that. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so she has directed... written and directed this version of Wuthering Heights, starring Margot Robbie as Kathy and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff. Is there a delay, or are you just not saying things?
Yeah, well, you just got to Jacob Elordi as... and then just stopped. So I didn't know what to say.
Right. No, I said as...
So it must have just cut out.
It must have just cut out. All right, we'll keep on going. We'll power through.
Okay.
Dear listener, we're struggling with Wi-Fi connection at the moment, so we'll do what we can. If this is no good, then we'll scrap this. We'll come back to it, which means you won't have heard me say this anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
So it doesn't really matter.
So this version has Margot Robbie as Kathy and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff.
Yes.
And It is written and directed by Emerald Fennell, and it's very much in the style of Emerald Fennell. And that means... So, I'll summarise the film. We'll focus on the film itself for now, not the adaptation, not the Wuthering Heights story. Let's just... Because I'm guessing...
I think we need to focus on the actual film and not the book.
Yeah, do you know anything about Wuthering Heights? Have you seen any other adaptations? Do you know the story? Have you read it? Do you know anything about it? Do you know anything about the Brontes? Do you know anything about Haworth? Do you know anything about anything to do with the Brontes or this film?
No. So up to watching the film, I don't know. I'm not a massive book reader, and I wish I was, to be honest, because I love I love to get into like a flow state of stories, learning. You know, I wish I could be like really interested in an author, but I really struggle with that. So no, I don't really know anything about the Brontes and the actual Wuthering Heights story. But after watching Wuthering Heights, I did look up a little bit about the actual story and a few of the differences. Not massively, and I wouldn't be confidently telling you what happened in that story. I'm not 100% sure. But I do believe that the story focuses more on the generational trauma aspect, as in this film's more of like a tragic love story. If that well, not the more of I don't know, but it's one of the... This is definitely more love story. Well, not love story. It's tragic. It's like beautifully tragic. As in, I think the book is, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Like I think like there's more to the end. There's a different ending and things like that. But that's I don't really know anything. That's my full knowledge of like actually anything other than the film with Wuthering Heights.
Okay, so in this film, we open up to a scene where we hear what we think is a bed creaking, don't we? Bed springs creaking, and a man we think is approaching climax on the bed.
Yeah,
we think they're doing sexy time, don't we? That's what we're led to believe. That's what we're deliberately led to believe, that there's a man having sexy time, either with somebody else or on their own.
Or by himself. Yeah.
Or by himself, vigorously, with bed springs or a bed creaking.
Yeah.
And a man moaning. And then it pans out and we see that actually it's not a man on a bed moaning. It is a man being hung or being hanged. It's a man being hanged.
Yeah.
And the noises we can hear is him struggling and fighting for breath. And then the crowd are all laughing at him because as he's struggling and fighting for breath and dying, he has an erection.
Yes. In fact, do you know what? I'd forgotten about the start of the film because I've been so focused on the ending. The start had like totally... I'm going, thinking, what actually was the opening scene? And then as soon as you said it, I thought, oh my God, yeah, because I remember like watching the first scene and thinking, what the hell is this film? Like, I'm terrible at watching on-screen deaths. Like, it could be the most like realistic death ever, and I'd still be like this, like covering the camera, like covering the TV screen. So it was a shock. And but like I was saying to Harley, like public hangings and things like that was such a common thing, and I think that's insane to me.
It is, yeah.
It's crazy.
But so it kind of sets out its stall early, doesn't it? That this film is going to be about sex and death, and that's it. And then it continues along that, successfully or unsuccessfully. We'll see, won't we?
Yes. I feel you've already got I keep leaning towards the microphone. I feel you've already got an opinion on this film, Stuart.
Oh, well, I've got
And
my
you're not
opinion on
hiding
this
it very well.
film. All right. Well, he starts off, doesn't he? So from that hanging,
Yeah.
we then go straight to Wuthering Heights, which Wuthering Heights is the name of the farmhouse that the Earnshaw family live in. And Mr. Earnshaw arrives with a small child that he has found at that hanging and presented to the rest of the family as their new sibling. So his family
Yeah.
are,
As you do.
as you do.
Is that what happened to you with Mum?
Well, do you know what? My mum told me, and so, dear listener, my mum is Harriet's grandma because my sister is Harriet's mum. And
Yes.
I was born in a hospital in Leeds in 1975. And at that point, I don't know whether their paperwork systems were not as good as whatever, but they did give my mum a different baby to come home with. Oh,
Really?
yeah. Yeah.
That's mental. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I mean, there's absolutely no doubting you're related to Grandma because me, you, and Grandma look exactly the same.
We look exactly the same, don't we? Oh,
Yeah, we
and,
do.
and it wasn't that long ago. I did one of those DNA tests. You know, for like your
Yeah.
heritage and your to show
Yeah.
what sort of ethnic background you have or what cultures you come from or what.
Yeah,
part
like
of the
different
world.
countries and things. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very definitely. It was actually it was a bit strange because it was like 50% or 50% Irish, 30%.
Was it? I didn't know that. I thought it was. I didn't know you. Well, I knew there was Irish in there, and it was obvious, but I actually didn't know the Irish bit.
Yeah, it was about 50% Irish, and then about 35% Indian, and then
Yeah.
about 15% Eastern European. So I don't know what's been
Was
going on there.
it?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
there was it Kazakhstan or there was a
It
specific
didn't say
country,
what.
wasn't there?
I don't think it could be that specific. It just said Eastern European. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe I got that wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think
there
they
you
can just
go.
say regions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they obviously got it. They swapped them over and got us right eventually. But I wasn't the first one that was
Eventually.
presented to my
Yeah,
mum.
it would make sense. Oh, yeah, a bit of context as well, dear listener. My grandma was literally born in India, and my granddad has his family had a farm in Ireland, so that would make sense.
Yeah. Hey, back off the mic a bit.
Back off the mic. Hang on, Harley's looking at me with like such urgency. What's up?
Oh, why? What's happened?
What? Oh. He's put his earphones in, bless him, so that he doesn't interrupt us. But because I nick his earphones all the time, they've connected to my phone. They're also nearly out of charge. It's like Ivan with nicking your power banks.
Don't let happen again. I'm not happy. Power banks.
Sorry, carry on.
So they turn up, and actually, do you know what I was going to say? That Heathcliff, then this young child, is presented to the family as their new siblings, but he's only got one. He's only got Kathy, sister. I think there aren't any other siblings in the household.
Yeah, when you said like the other siblings, I mean you've got is it Nellie? But she's
So
not a
Nellie
sibling,
Dean
so.
is like, no, she's like a maid, isn't she? So she looks after Kathy.
Yes.
And then there's a couple of other people that work around
Yeah.
the farm. There's, I've forgotten his name. There's Zilla. And
Yes.
then there's Who's the other guy? Who's the guy that was having the affair with Zilla? I want to say Tom. Is it
Oh,
Tom?
I thought Scylla was the guy. I don't know why.
No,
I
Zilla.
don't know. Do you know, I've got no chance with the names.
uh, Joseph. So there's Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph and Zilla, they're working in the house. So
Yeah.
Heathcliff is presented to the household where you have his new sister, Kathy, Kathy's housemaid, Nellie Dean,
Yeah.
Joseph, and Zilla. Then they proceed to show a montage of them growing up, don't we? We see Kathy's father
Abuse.
a drinking and a gambling,
Yeah.
being abusive to Heathcliff, well, and Kathy.
Yeah. Well,
but then
everybody
also-
there.
Well, yeah, but then also showing some affection, but some affection, some beatings, some abuse, depending on how drunk
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
And then they continue to grow up, muck about, make fun of each other, play around on the Yorkshire moors, and then they are late for their dad's birthday, and Heathcliff says, "Oh, it's my fault that we're late," but it wasn't. It was because Kathy didn't want to go in rain, and then
Yeah.
so the dad says, "Right, well, I'll beat you then." So he beats her.
Do you think you've lost your Yorkshire accent over the years? Just wait, you have to put on a Yorkshire accent to be like from Yorkshire,
I do. I play
or
up
do
on
you
it,
just
so
exasperate? Yeah,
exacerbate.
exacerbate.
I emphasise my Yorkshire accent, depending on who I'm
Emphasise.
with.
That's a good word.
Depending on who I'm with, who I'm talking to, and what I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll go stronger or not so strong. Yeah.
Chameleon accent. My, do you know what? Granddad used to do that, but he used to like accidentally do it like really offensively. You know, like if somebody Spanish was talking to him, he would like say English words but with a Spanish accent because I think just because he was masking that what they were saying, you know, like in really deep in conversation. I remember he was once at sports day talking to a Scottish bloke and he was like basically like he just had a Scottish accent and was talking English. I was like, oh, stop it.
Oh no. Yeah. Putting on an accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we cut to them grown up, don't we? They're adults.
Yeah.
They've all of a sudden gone from, 7, 8 years old up to, well, we're not entirely sure, are we, how old they're supposed to be. What would you say? 20s?
I would
mid-20s?
put them at their mid to late 20s. Yeah. And I
Mid
would
to late
say
20s.
probably early 30s by the end of the film. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're both still mucking about on the moors and being the best of pals. And then one night,
Yeah.
Kathy sneaks in to see Heathcliff because he sleeps in the barn, doesn't he? And she
Yes.
sneaks in to go find him. And they go upstairs. And as she's going upstairs, she hears young Joseph, coming into the barn to have some sexy time with Zilla, doesn't he? So
Yeah.
she's peeping at them through a little crack in the floorboard to look down on them as they begin to have sex. As Joseph begins to put her in like a horse's bridle around her, sitting
Yeah,
in some,
it's like proper like, yeah.
in some sort of made up sex swing. And then
And
as
I
they're
think
doing
like, I think as well for those times as well, like women were meant to obviously be virgins for marriage and things like that. So she couldn't believe it, could she? She like you wouldn't. I think as well because she was of a higher class. I think that she was even more, you need to be pure for marriage. Da, da, da. So I think that when she saw that, she was like, "What the hell?" Because it was just totally,
Yeah, what the flipping heck's going on here? And as she's peeping down,
yeah,
Heathcliff comes along, lies on top of her, and puts his hands over her mouth and her eyes, does she? And I don't know whether that's supposed
yeah.
to be erotic or not. Is it? Did you find it so?
Well, because I thought this. I thought, right, I can see why she'd be into that, but that's not like just something that would naturally happen that somebody would be into. So I thought, why has he gone and done that? My only thought was that because she like goes, she's like shocked. So she makes some sort of shock noise. I'm assuming it's because he doesn't want them to know she's there. But then why would you cover her eyes? I don't quite get that bit. I feel like that's just a control thing because he's weird in that aspect. So would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but well, that's it, isn't it? I think that he had this thing of they both have this thing of ownership, don't they, over each other. So I suppose maybe it's part of that kind of dynamic.
Yeah, and then there's all sorts of montages, isn't it, of them mucking about, and then they go to see the new family who have moved in to Thrushcross Grange, which is a posh. What? What? That's right, is it? Thrushcross Grange. Have I said that wrong? What are you laughing at?
No, nothing.
So that go go over there to see. This new what?
Nothing. It's just delayed. I'm laughing with you, and then it's delayed. So you think I'm laughing at you like 5 seconds later.
So they go down to see the posh family that just moved into the big house down in the valley. And they're peeping over the wall. And as Kathy's peeping over the wall, she's seeing Edgar Linton having a conversation with his ward, Isabella, who is telling him
What's a ward?
Story. Well, a ward is like, it's almost like an adopted child. So one of our relatives was a ward. So it's usually like an illegitimate child or some sort of complicated family relationship. So they've done it in here because Isabella, I think for some reason, didn't want Isabella to be Edgar Linton's sister, which in the original story they were brother and sister. But
I thought she was his sister. Like, I don't know why. I just thought, yeah, because he says like my ward's done this and she's got these ribbons or whatever. But I just assumed sister anyway, so I don't think they got away with trying to get away from that because anybody watched it, I think, would probably think sister.
Well, yeah. So a ward is somebody that's not, or supposedly, officially, not a blood relative, because one of our ancestors was a ward of an earl in Northern Ireland, which meant that was basically his illegitimate son.
Yeah.
Which meant that we are unofficially related to a really wealthy family in Ireland, but because we're the illegitimate side,
yeah, we get
nothing.
nil.
we lose.
Yeah, we lose.
We lose. So, as she's telling him the story of Romeo and Juliet and how the nurse in Romeo and Juliet is responsible for everybody dying.
Is this in the book, by the way?
Or at least Romeo and
Is
Juliet
this in the
dying.
book, by the way?
What?
Is this in the book, by the way? No.
Nope. No. But yes and no.
It gave kind of obvious. Like, I can't lie. Like, me and Harley were watching it, and it was kind of like when we got to the end, Harley was like, "Oh yeah, well they kind of gave that away in the middle of the film. What was going to happen because of the Romeo and Juliet thing? Well, the fact that one of them was going to die. I mean, not gave it away, but like, I mean, obviously there's the death at the start, and you kind of think that it's kind of it is a tragic kind of story. But if you don't know Wuthering Heights, you get to the Shakespeare bit and think,
Somebody's going to
I
die.
don't feel like it was needed. Yeah, I feel like they could have just explained that better through storytelling and not just gone, oh yeah, in Shakespeare.
Well, I think they've put that in there to say that, look, this nurse interfered, and as a result of her interfered or not passing on a message, then she deliberately meddled, resulting in the deaths of Romeo and Juliet.
But that's not what happens in Wuthering Heights, though, in my opinion.
Well, in the film, Nellie Dean does interfere, doesn't she? And it's her.
Yeah, but even though she interferes, it's not her fault. Like, their lack of communication isn't. Nellie's just trying to live, isn't she? She's a woman living in the 1700s, and she needs a job. And equally, Kathy's a woman in the 1700s who needs a husband. Like, they're just pitted against each other, aren't they?
Yeah. Anyway, so as Kathy is peeping her face over the top of the wall into the garden, this startles Isabella, who then screams, and as a result, Kathy falls to the floor, twists her ankle, and has to stay at Thrushcross Grange for about 6 weeks to recover from from a poorly ankle.
Yes.
When she gets back to the rundown cottage at Wuthering Heights, rundown farmhouse at Wuthering Heights, she turns up with all fancy pants, dresses, all clean. She's had a wash and that. They brushed her hair.
Yeah.
And now she's a lady, isn't she? And she's sort of out of Heathcliff's what's the right word? Reach in terms of society. Class, yeah. Yeah, she's like kind of moved up in a class, leveled up.
Yeah.
She's powered up. And she's
powered up.
So Heathcliff runs off. Does he run off then? No, he doesn't he?
Well, she goes to see him, and she's like, well, have you missed me? And he's annoyed because he's like, he tried to show her that he would provide for her, because she gets cold, doesn't she, like the week before, or like the 6 weeks before, and he smashes the chair up to give her warmth, like his own chair that he sat on. And I think that was him saying, look, I might not have the money that this other guy's got, but I'll provide for you, you know what I mean, regardless of his class and things like that. And he even says to her, doesn't he, you don't need to marry him, like, don't do that. So well, then the fact that she'd gone off and obviously pursued going to see him, he's like, well, he's annoyed, and she's like, have you missed me? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, I didn't miss you. And he's like, well, I didn't miss you. And then, like, he just, like, runs off.
Well, no, it doesn't. I remember now what makes him run off. It's because in this story, Nellie Dean sees, she's in the kitchen talking to Kathy, and she sees Heathcliff within earshot through the window behind Kathy. She encourages, she finds out that Kathy has been proposed to by Edgar Linton, and then she deliberately then gets Kathy a talking and a bad-mouthing Heathcliff, so that Heathcliff hears Kathy say...
But then she doesn't know, does she? Because she doesn't badmouth. She just says the truth of the situation she's in. She says to marry Heathcliff would... Does she say degrade me? And then she says, but I love him. But then he only hears... Yeah.
Yeah, he only hears her saying it would degrade me to marry Heathcliff. And then Heathcliff...
But Nellie didn't know that he was going to turn away at that point after just hearing that bit. No. He could have stayed for the bit where she said, oh, but I love him.
But I think it's clear from that point that I can't remember what it was that deliberately happened, but Nellie was irked, wasn't she, at something that Heathcliff or Kathy had just done.
Yeah.
So she deliberately did that to create a chasm.
Well, because she wanted the house to survive, because if not, she was going to lose her job.
Yes. Yeah. So Heathcliff disappears, and then after that, Edgar and Kathy get married after about a year, don't they? They get married. Kathy goes off. Lives
She's still thinking about Heathcliff like the whole time.
Yeah, they go to Thrushcross Grange. She moves in. She dresses herself as a present. There's a lot to do with Christmas in there. There's like they keep on showing them having Christmas dinners. They keep on.
I didn't get the Christmas connection.
No, she dresses up as I don't know if it was a Christmas present, but a present. She dresses up and presents herself as a present to Edgar Linton. But she moves in there, doesn't she? And then there's all sorts of weirdness there with
she moves
Isabella.
in there and I was about to say, there's things like that are weird, like there's a doll made out of her own hair. Her room is a replica of her skin, which is really symbolic. And there's a lot of things about it being like a prison, isn't there? You know, it's she can't leave.
Well, they're not. Also, do you know what? I did like the doll's house with the replicas of Kathy and Isabella, and then in that doll's house, when you go in, there's Kathy and Isabella in there with a little doll's house with even littler dolls of Kathy and Isabella. It was like
I didn't know it's
that. It was like, how far do they go? How far did she go? Like making little miniature dolls.
How far could she go?
How far could she go? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like Christmas presents where she buys her that book or makes a book, doesn't she? Where it's got like pop-up willies in it and
it's
fannies.
like she's like, oh, this flower reminded me of you, and there's just this pop-up fanny in there.
Yeah, this reminded me of you. What?
Yeah. What do I?
Yeah. So anyway, after all this, Heathcliff returns to show that he's super wealthy now, and he goes to dinner with Edgar, Kathy, and Isabella. He reveals that he's actually super wealthy now, because you can tell he's wealthy because he's got a gold tooth in his
and he's smoking a pipe.
And he's smoking a pipe, and he's got a gold earring, like a pirate.
Yeah.
So he tells them, actually, I've got a fortune now, and I've bought Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
And then Kathy's dad dies, don't they? And they go to the funeral, and it's all.
And she kicks him in the head twice. Once.
After he's died.
Yeah.
And then Heathcliff and Kathy then hold hands at the funeral, don't they? And then there's a big long montage of.
They do more than hold hands at the funeral.
Well, they go off and they just have sexy time, don't they? All over the hills.
They just start. She just cheats on her husband, doesn't she? They just sleep together all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Edgar sort of finds out and then calls an end to it.
Yeah.
And says, no more.
Yeah, and then says, you need to stop seeing your boyfriend. Diva moment, right? She cries about her not being able to see her boyfriend in front of her husband. That's crazy work. You know, like bawling her eyes out, unable to stand over the fact that she can't see her boyfriend whilst her husband's there. Even he's like, the audacity, like, what?
Yeah. And then as he's saying that, somebody throws something at the window, and you think, oh, well, I wonder who that could be. And Kathy says,
isn't it an egg?
Oh, well, I bet it, yeah, but I bet that's a bird. I'll go out and find out. And you think,
yeah, that's so obvious.
Yeah.
Also, in the scene where Heathcliff kisses Kathy outside of the window in front of Edgar, he could totally see them. That's not that hard to see somebody. It's not like a completely black screen when it's dark outside. He would be able to see
No.
Jacob Elordi's a massive guy.
He's massive,
You're gonna see Jacob Elordi in your back garden, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know,
In a
like
tree.
Bob Mortimer when he does, "I do beg your pardon, but we are in your garden."
Yeah. Because you can imagine him, look, I wonder if Heathcliff's in my back garden, and then the security lights pop up and there's his massive head poking out the bush.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
a gold
if it was
tooth, with a gold
2026,
tooth shining in the lint, in the glinting in the light. And he's going, "Hey up."
if it was if it was 2026, Ring Doorbell would have gone dun dun dun, and he'd have checked his phone, and the night vision would have just showed this massive silhouette of Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, it's fucking massive Heathcliff again. Get out, how many times?
Yeah.
Yeah, get up your own end. That's what they used to say to us
Yeah.
when we were playing out. I was going to say lecking out in the streets. Then that's proper Yorkshire, innit? When me and your mum would be lecking out on the street,
Yeah.
and we'd go like only like one street over, and if we were running around playing, somebody would come out, "Hey you, where do you live?" And we go, "Down that street down there." "Right, well get up your own end." Don't be playing that round it.
Do you know what? We all say that in this household. I never knew what that was from. Get up your
it's
own
from-
end.
Because kids were always being told to get up your own end. Get up your own end. Like, don't be running around throwing stones and kicking footballs at our cars.
Yeah, do it outside your own house.
Do it outside your own. Get up your own end. Yeah. So that's become one of those family sayings. Get up your own end.
Yeah. Oh, along
So-
with the fact that Mum universally thinks that everybody thinks that the word Tommy Squeaker means Trump, so she says it like when she means Trump, and no one ever know what she means, and I have
Nobody
to
knows what Tommy
explain it
Squeaker
every
means.
single time. Who would know what Tommy Squeaker means? But she says it out and about. I wonder if she thinks it's like a common phrase.
I didn't make that up. It's not something I made up. Tommy Squeak and Vic and Bob used to say it all the time.
Yes, it is. You totally made that up.
No, I
Tommy
didn't.
Squeaker.
It's Vic and Bob used to say it. I didn't make that up. Vic and Bob.
Oh, it's Vic and Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. A name given to those high-pitched farts that often come as a result of trying to hold one in a public place. When Reeves and Mortimer interviewed Sting and the Stotts, and Bob ended up doing, I'm assuming it's going to say
Doing
Tommy
Squeaker.
Squeaker. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't make that
Well,
up.
I am
Well,
wrong.
there you go. Every day's a school day.
Every day's a school day.
Do you remember the first time I got an iPhone? And then
I
you'd come
don't
down-
know.
Oh, well, I'll tell you might do, because you used to come down my house, when you were only wee,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
said, look at this, when you send a message on an iPhone and click send, there's a pause for like a second and a half, and then it makes like this whoosh, like whooshing sound, didn't it?
Yeah.
So don't you remember then that we'd try and do Tommy Squeakers so it sounded like we were trumping our way to the moon?
No. No. And you just put that on my online digital footprint now. Oh, that's funny. That does sound funny. I don't know.
remember us doing
I
that?
don't remember that at all. I remember you wrapping me in sellotape and me getting upset over it. Sauce.
Oh, yeah, I'm really
and
sorry
I know
about
that's
that.
probably not one of the things you want me to remember. But
What, me
there was
wrapping you up
this
in
game,
sellotape?
right? Yeah, there was this game, right? And this is one of the most things that stands out in my mind. There was a game on your iPad or your phone or something in your house where there was two cats and some sort of ball, and you had to get the cats to, like, they had rolled up tails and they'd pass the ball and it would roll down wherever. I don't know. You'd make a thing. I don't know. And then the other cat would collect it, a bit like cut the rope. Have you ever played Cut the Rope? And I have wanted to play this game because I loved it for the last 20 years of my life and have never found it. So there's my story about my cat game that I would really like someone out there to tell me what the name of this game is.
I can't help your age because I have no idea what you're talking about.
To be fair, the way I described it probably was not very good. There was a game the other day that it's called something on the DS, something Rupee Land, and trying to describe this game, I tried to look for it for like 10 years, and I eventually found it by just looking up random words, DS games, and like I found it. So I will find this game.
Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, well.
So then they continue to have their sexy affair all over the hills.
Yeah.
In carriages, on benches, on rocks, under hedges, in cupboards.
In cupboards.
Yeah, on horses, in a fridge.
Yeah.
All over the place. Until one day when Jacob Elordi Heathcliff says, this is good, isn't it, what we're doing? I'll tell you what, I'll go kill your husband.
Yeah.
And then Kathy goes,
like he's in the middle of sexy time with her, and he's trying to like, talk sexily to her, and he basically says, I'll go kill your husband.
Oh, I'll go kill your husband.
Yeah.
I'll take his neck and I'll snap it like this. And she goes, you fucking what?
And I'll watch him bleed. Yeah. And she goes, wait a minute.
Let's just stop right there.
Red flag.
Right. First of all, take that out.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a talk.
Is that even a red flag? That's like a whole red carpet. Like, yeah. She's like, get out.
Yeah. We'll just stop this. And then I'm off at my own end.
Yeah. And then she basically says, doesn't she, like, I don't want to see you again.
Yeah, I don't want to see you no more.
Yeah. Because you're a psycho.
Because you're absolutely nuts. So she goes home. And then... Because he's...
She's already home in this film. I don't know what... But she's already home. He goes into the next room and goes, right, F you. And goes and sleeps with Edgar's sister, not sister.
Sister, not sister, yeah. And then nicks her off. They nick off, don't they? Get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which she says, because of that scene in there where he says, we are going to get married. And I don't even like you. Do you consent?
Yeah, he says, he says, I'm gonna treat you like absolute dog crap. Do you want me to carry on? Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. I don't even like you. I'm gonna put eggs in your bed. Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all right with that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea. Probably 3 or 4 a day, but I'm never going to make you one. Do you want me to carry on? And she goes, all right, yeah.
Like really horrible things. Like really like subtle inconveniences.
Yeah. When you get home and put your keys down on that table, when you're looking, I'm going to move them. I'm going to put them in that drawer over there so you don't know where they are. Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right then, yeah. Yeah, all these like really horrible gaslight.
Yeah, they're like really horrible things, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not going to like you.
Yeah.
And even when we're having sexy time, I'm not even going to be looking at you or thinking of you. I'm just going to be thinking of...
Catherine.
Kathy. Yeah, your sister-in-law. Actually, your sister-in-law, not sister-in-law.
Yeah, I'm just going to be thinking about your sister-in-law the whole time. Is that all right with you? She's like, yeah, crack on.
Yeah, crack on. Carry on. Can we do it? Yeah, can we go? Yeah. What are you hanging about for? We're wasting time. Let's go. So they go off and get married. And then they start writing letters, don't they, to to Kathy to say, because the implication is that Heathcliff still can't, he hasn't learnt to read or write, and he gets Isabella to write letters to Kathy saying, will you come and see me? I promise not to kill your husband.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on back.
Yeah. Yeah, come on back. I won't kill your husband. I love you, and I don't want your sister-in-law, but I've got her chained up like a dog in the
Yeah.
kitchen because she loves me that much.
Yeah. But of course, Nellie Dean's taking all these letters and burning them up and showing Edgar Linton. So he locks Kathy away, and then Kathy just fades away. Nellie Dean doesn't tell anybody how poorly Kathy is, so essentially just lets her die.
Yeah, because Kathy says, doesn't she, like, because she's pregnant at the time. Oh, by the way, yeah, she's pregnant the whole time that she's having this affair, and he's not bothered in the slightest. He's just more like, oh, I'll just kill your husband, it's fine. But when she says to Nellie, doesn't she? She says the baby died a long time ago, and Nellie's like, yeah, but you haven't bled, so the baby can't be dead. And then they find out she's got septicemia, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. So she goes and dies. So Nellie doesn't tell anybody, and Kathy dies, and then as a result, everybody's dead sad, and the end.
Yeah.
We all get to go home.
So I finished that film at 1:30 in the morning, and I was bawling my eyes out. It was horrific, regardless of the storyline. The last bit, her room is like faded, like white, like her skin. She's got absolutely no colour. She just bleeds out. Everyone's just upset. I mean, Edgar goes to hug Heathcliff when he gets there because he knows that Heathcliff loved Kathy, and was dependent on Kathy in so many ways. And he goes to hug him, doesn't he? Like, there's so many things in it that, I'd totally gone. Films don't usually get me like that. As you know, I don't think I've ever sat here and gone, oh yeah, this film made me cry. And I don't know why this one did.
Well, it made me cry, H, but for a completely different reason. Because I thought...
Do you know what? To me, you're going to hate this statement. To me, this film is maybe slightly less, but I'd say nearly on par with Frankenstein, the new one. Your silence speaks volumes.
Yeah, I haven't frozen. I just don't know what to say to that.
It is though. And they both got Jacob Elordi in as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I sort of did have... I didn't have high hopes, but I had some hopes for it. But do you know what, H? I found it dull. I found it really...
Do you know what?
Dull.
As upset I was with the ending, and I think some of the acting was amazing in some of the scenes. I really do. I agree that some of the scenes were a bit confusing, a little bit unnecessary. I could understand if you didn't class this as a perfect film. But
it's over it's 2 hours 16 minutes long.
Yeah, that it is long.
There's the pacing in it is terrible. There's a whole middle section and it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, so like the bit where she's married to Edgar, and there's the few years that she's there on her own, and we see the skin room and the doll's house and everything. I feel like that was enough. They could have then gone 1 year later. I don't think there was a lot of filler in there that I actually don't even remember. I assume because it wasn't very significant.
Shall I tell you what I liked about this film?
You're gonna say nothing.
No, actually, do you know what? I liked the way some of it looked. Not all of it, but I liked the way some of it looked.
That's the most crap insult ever. That's like saying, "What do you like about me?" to a guy, and him being like, "Oh, your ankles." Like that is horrendous.
No, I did like some of the costumes, because do you know what? Like you say, like Frankenstein. Frankenstein wasn't an accurate adaptation of the book or the story.
No.
It told its own story. It was its own thing. It's a different art form. You can't tell the same story. If you wanted to tell us the
Yeah.
same story, or you wanted to hear the same story, you read the book. If you want to see a different
Yeah.
story, you watch the film.
You read a different book or you watch the film. Yeah.
Yeah. Frankenstein was a different story. Not very different, but it was different. But it still had the same
Yeah.
themes in there, and it looked beautiful, and it told its own story, and it was great.
I think that Wuthering Heights is beautiful. I think it's crap because the weather's crap in it. I don't like watching films when they're all gloomy. Like when we watched Banshees of Inisherin, it depresses me. I would much prefer a film where it's got sunshine. However, some of the set designs of the house, like the where Edgar lives, the skin room itself, the dining rooms, like you said, the
Yeah.
costumes, even down to Wuthering Heights itself, like when a dad dies and there's all the alcohol in the background and the way he changes. I feel like there's so much. I feel like the set design's really good.
That was a really good thing. I liked it. Martin Clunes was really great in this film. Kathy's dad, in terms
Yeah.
of the character that he played and the way that he played him, he was so grotesquely over the top and amazing. He was really great.
Yeah, he was really disgusting. Like the character, like he did it so well. You know, when you're actually looking at the character and being like, oh, like at the end when all his addictions get a lot, you know, and he's effectively killing himself, isn't he? You know, but the way he behaves towards people.
Yeah, and who knew
It's that
Martin
behaviour.
Clunes had that in him? He was absolutely terrific in this film. He was by far,
I know what you mean, yeah.
in a way, the greatest thing in it, because he played that part and he gave that character layers that
Yeah.
I don't think was Emerald Fennell. That wasn't there in the writing. He gave that character layers that wasn't there, because all the other characters didn't have those layers in them. I thought it was really shallow. I didn't think there was.
Do you know
much
what?
to it.
Yeah, I can kind of. Heathcliff hasn't really got any layers, and neither has Kathy. However, I feel as though that's deliberate. I feel as though they're trying to explain that all that matters to them in this time period is each other and sex and death, which, you know, is effectively the film, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because they're just drawn to each other. They're dependent on each other, and nothing else exists. I feel like that's done on purpose.
Yeah,
They're not individual.
Emerald Fennell does that, but and it's that maximalism type of filmmaking where it's all.
Oh, good night. That's my reminder to go to bed. Thank you.
So she's about maximalism filmmaking where everything is all bright colours in your face, glaringly obvious, no subtlety.
What other films would you relate this to? Because it gave me Frankenstein vibes in the cinematicness, like the colour schemes and things like that. Although I don't think done as well as Frankenstein. But what other films would you say we've watched where it's had this type of maximalist format?
That we've watched as part of this podcast. I don't know.
Or that you've watched.
Something that's maximalist. Well, do you know, as I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about adaptations, we're going to go through the adaptations part of this in a little while, because I want to kick off about that. But there's, you know, when we look at other adaptations of classic books and stories,
Yeah.
There's Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann version, which that's all maximalist and extravagance and in your face. But that's told
Yeah.
beautifully, and that's a really great, successful adaptation. I do wonder if we do that next.
We should do that. Is that Gen X?
Yeah, because it was made before the. It was definitely it was
2000s,
made,
yeah.
Yeah, it was made 97, I guess. But I know it was 2000
Yeah.
because I watched when I watched it. I know where I was living, and it was before the millennium. So there was that, but there's loads of successful adaptations. There's that TV show that I talked about last week, Mint, which is that's Romeo and Juliet, but told in. There's The Lion King, which is a retelling of a Hamlet, and these are all films that it's not really a retelling. It's
What?
It's loosely based on those stories, and I think this is what this should have been.
I never knew that about The Lion King.
What, being Hamlet?
Yeah.
Well, you got Bridget Jones' Diary being Pride and Prejudice. That's that story.
This is crazy.
Well, you know the story of Hamlet.
You pick up. I actually don't. I don't know the story. I don't know the story of Hamlet because in school we did various Shakespeare's and they pick out different ones and you just stick to that one and overanalyze it. And Hamlet wasn't one that we did. So.
Well, you got Return to the Forbidden Planet.
Return to the what?
Forbidden Planet, which is like a 1960s sci-fi, and that's a retelling of The Tempest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but then other successful adaptations, which are, not like the book, but still brilliant films. The Shining, Trainspotting, I wrote down Frankenstein. These are all great. I think when I was a kid age, they did a TV show, a cartoon called D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds, which was a retelling of D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers, which is a famous Victor Hugo novel, French novel. And D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds was a more successful piece of art than this film.
Ooh. That was low. Ooh.
Yeah. No.
Do you know what? I liked it. There was parts of it, I will admit, I thought, I don't like this and I don't like this. But the fact that it made me cry for like half an hour, I must have been feeling something from the film.
Well, I get that. I think this is what I'm saying. I think it's very definitely Gen Z because it is. The storyline, it's just like a soap opera. It's just about somebody having an affair. I don't think it's told very well. There's all sorts of stuff that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. I think do you know what? I'd agree with you, but I think for me it was the acting.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I think that the way that, although Jacob Elordi with a northern accent didn't quite sell, that was bizarre.
Do you know what? I liked his accent. I did.
It was good. It was really good and really theatrical, but it didn't settle in my brain. Every time he spoke, I was like, ugh.
No, I thought he did a good job, actually.
No, he did do a very good job. I think that's what made it a bit unsettling.
But it's very definitely Wuthering Heights for the social media generation, because you can just see that I think Generation Z will not be interested in any of the subtext of this film. Not that there's much in this version.
To be fair as well, one of the other things is the soundtrack. So, the soundtrack for Wuthering Heights came out before the film.
Okay.
And it's been out for a while. I think it was before the film anyway, but anyway, it's been a while. It's circulated on TikTok with the sounds under like really... TikTok's one of those places where you scroll and you got some nice videos, and then there's a video that's so relatable but depressing, and you're like, oh my god, it like makes you want to cry. And then next one, you've got some guy dancing in the middle
Yeah.
of Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? It's so random. But on those videos that are like really sad and whatever, there's always that music over emotional things. So having the music in the film, I think, just automatically like triggered something as well
Triggered some
that made
emotion.
me feel like, because I knew the songs and I knew the emotion of the music already. It's like I'm really responsive to music. I reckon that I've got sensory issues and things like that, and I'm really sensitive to certain music. And I remember being in a music lesson once, and we had experimentalism from I think it was the 1700s, and it sounded that horrible. It sent me into a panic attack, and I had to leave because music, like the certain waves. It was, do you know, I can remember. I can think. It scares me thinking about it. And as well, it had these. It was a YouTube video the teacher put on. It had these artwork pieces put over the
Yeah.
top of the sounds, and there was like a shriek noise, and there was like this like old painting of a cat from the 1700s. It doesn't look like a cat at all, and it's like, but this is what I'm saying, like the power of music. You know, it can make you panic, it can make you
Yeah.
cry, and it definitely can for me. And I think the music held a lot of weight for me. So then when I heard it, I was like, oh my god.
Okay, well, that's fair. But I do think it's a film that is just clippable social media clips that are just put together in a...
Oh, do you know what? I kind of get that. I do kind of get that. I really wanted to come in and defend this movie like wholeheartedly, but I do get all the things you're saying.
And then I think once I watched this film, I thought, do you know what? I wonder what else Emerald Fennell has done. And you know, the couple of shows ago,
Yeah.
we were talking about Killing Eve. And I said, well, actually,
Yes.
I liked the first series of Killing Eve. And then afterwards, it seemed to just get really shallow and really terrible and just out to shock. And there was no kind of depth to anything. And then
Yeah.
I looked at Emerald Fennell's IMDb, and she took over writing and producing Killing Eve after series 1. So I thought,
At that
well,
point, yeah.
yeah, where it all just could be some shallow and
Yeah.
terrible. So
Yes.
I don't think Emerald Fennell is. Well, I mean, the thing is, she's not making.
You're
things
not on the
that
top
end.
fan list then.
I'm not on. No, but she's not making things for me either, is she? You know, it's not for
No.
me. It's for.
No, you're quite true. She's not trying to appeal maybe to the Gen X audience.
Yeah, and I think that's who it will appeal to, and I think it'll do very well. Well, it has done very well, hasn't it, in that audience? But I don't think it's not
Yeah.
going to be a classic, and it won't. You know, in 5 years' time, it'll just be nonsense. It won't. It
Yeah.
won't mean it. I think what Emerald Fennell said was that she claims to love this book. She claims to love the book Wuthering Heights. She says that she read it as a 14-year-old at school, and she wanted to make a film
Yeah.
that made her feel the way she felt. Are you all right? What's going on? Are you distracted?
Oh, he's fallen asleep. Well, he's fallen asleep and he's fine, and he will just stay asleep. He's on tramadol, so he's on like really heavy painkillers.
Oh, right.
But his arm's dangling off the edge of the bed, and it keeps going like that. So every time he does that, I'm gonna move his arm. Hang on. He's fallen asleep watching his phone as well. He falls asleep watching TikToks and YouTube. Okay, I've popped his arm up now.
So, Emerald Fennell has said that she wanted to make the film because she claims to love this book, and she wanted to make a film that made her feel like she felt
Yeah.
when she read it for the first time when she was 14-year-old. And
Right.
I think that's what she's done, in that she's made a film like it's been written by a 14-year-old who has read a book,
Yeah.
not understood it,
Yeah.
And then gone,
It's just
oh,
taken
yeah,
what
it's
she
just-
wants from it.
and then
Yeah.
written a story. As a 14-year-old, I go,
Yeah.
what should we put in there? We'll put a big willy, and then we can laugh at that.
Yeah.
And then we'll do this, and then
A really
we'll
tall
have
guy.
a really tall man. We'll have him snogging all over the
Yeah.
place, in a fridge, on a horse,
In a
in a
fridge.
stable,
Yeah.
on the roof,
In a cupboard.
in a cupboard, on a rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
have a room made out of skin. We'll have this. So I think it is being written
Yeah.
by a 14-year-old.
I do get what you mean. I think it's that. Yeah, I do get what you mean. She's taken from the film what it's her interpretation, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
her interpretation, but I think, which is why I would
It's
prefer
wrong,
it.
is what you want to say.
No, which is why I would prefer it to not be Wuthering Heights. If she'd have called it
Yeah.
like Bridget Jones' Diary, nobody complained about Bridget Jones's Diary. It wasn't a great film, but it was,
Yeah.
it amused people. It was all right, and it did all right, didn't it? And people loved the books and things.
Yeah.
And it was based on Pride and
No, I
Prejudice.
see what you mean there. If she'd have changed some characters' names and called it
Well, even if she'd have called it,
Edgar's Garden.
Edgar's Garden, and kept some of the names, and so it like hinted that it was a bit of a loose thing on Wuthering Heights. We don't call it Wuthering Heights
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Because
I
it's
think
not
what
Wuthering
she's-
Heights.
and it doesn't again it doesn't have to be Wuthering Heights, but what
Yeah.
Fenella's done is she's taken a story that is so complex. The way it's told, it's told through Nellie Dean being a narrator, but that being told
Yeah.
to somebody else who is then telling the story. And it's so layered in terms of
Yeah.
who's a reliable narrator, and it's all. But then also, I think the casting is
get
all
that.
is all wrong. Because when this,
Completely disagree.
well, let me tell you this, okay? Because
Go on.
the film is sort of like, even Emerald Fenella's put things in there about class and the class structure,
Yeah.
and marrying into money. But a lot of Wuthering Heights is about otherness and generational
Yeah.
trauma and
Yes.
how people treat each other. And Heathcliff
Yeah.
is not he's non-white. Okay, he
Oh, wow.
is in the story in the original book.
Yeah.
Kathy's father goes to Liverpool, and the book was written in the 1840s. Okay,
Yeah.
slavery was abolished
Yes.
in the 1807, but not kind of really illegal until 1838, when there was
Yeah.
no slaves allowed.
Yeah.
So she's written a book and set it 50 years earlier.
Yeah.
And then so when Heathcliff was born, he would have
So that
been,
would explain more about the thing of Kathy saying, I can't be with him.
yes, because it's not that, and it would degrade her because
It's not the class. Yeah.
he's completely othered, and he is picked
Yeah.
up by Kathy's father, who goes to Liverpool. And Liverpool at that time in the 1770s, when it would have been Heathcliff was a boy, where slaves were Liverpool was the biggest slave port
Yeah.
around. So he didn't go to Liverpool by accident. He picks up and he
I
brings home a
see.
little. In the height of the slave trade, he comes home and he brings a little child who everybody describes as dark, brown-skinned, black hair. He's absolutely described as a non-white child. Not where he's from, or because nobody cares. It doesn't matter because he's unimportant. He's completely othered. Back off the mic a bit, H. He's completely othered. Apart from Kathy, and they go and often they play and they grow up together, and they're the best of friends. There's an implication that he might be Kathy's half brother, because why would a dad go to Liverpool to collect a child if he hadn't been having an affair with a black slave woman? But in the books, then, so he's brought in by Kathy's father, who is actually a kind man, but Heathcliff is absolutely tormented and abused by Kathy's brother. When her dad dies and her brother becomes head of the household, he absolutely torments.
Doesn't he
Heathcliff.
demote him? I've read that somewhere.
Yes.
Somebody demoted it.
So
Yeah,
he
I
says,
see.
right, you do not belong in this house anymore. You go sleep with the servants. You go sleep in the stable. Or you're not part of this
That's why you
household
said siblings earlier.
Yeah. So it's so Kathy and Heathcliff grow up and they're like brother and sister. They love each other. Nellie Dean is looking out for him as well. She cares for him, although she can be a little bit, and she's narrating the story as well. So you're not quite sure about her. But there are times where she is really caring for him, but there are times when she's not so great. So for him then to grow up with this as the only non-white character in this story to be othered. So then for Emerald Fennell to completely, in 2026, to completely disregard that and then make the only other, and then to cast a non-white actor as Edgar Linton, who
to be
in the story, Edgar Linton is a stand-up guy. He's really great. He's really kind to Kathy. He's a good
That's
husband.
not the only. There's Nellie as well.
Well, that's what I mean. So Nellie is also a non-white actor. And you think, oh, well, it's 2026. This is colourblind casting. But I don't think it is. Because she's made the only non-white actors to be the villains of the whole piece. Because Edgar Linton is seen to be
the
this...
people that people would, to be the characters that people would
in the story,
enjoy least.
Yeah, in the story, nobody sympathises with Heathcliff because he's so... I mean, he's treated appallingly, and you can see as he's growing up, and he comes back and he's full of anger and revenge and spite, and he's vicious. He's absolutely vicious.
But then, like you were saying, like in the books, I bet there's not as much sexy time, and I bet there's not as much of the scenes that are in the film to do with. Well, I bet there is to do with Kathy and Heathcliff, but not to the point of what they were in the film.
No, there isn't anything. There's no sexy time between them. They don't kiss.
That's what I mean. So, like you said, it's not Wuthering Heights.
No.
It's not it's like you said, it's not the book then, is it? Because it's focused on an entirely different narrative from what you're saying.
So they've cast non-white actors and then made those two roles like the villains of the piece. They've made Heathcliff to be a really sympathetic character. You really care for him, don't you? Because throughout that film, he doesn't really do much wrong. I mean, he has an affair, and he mistreats. He mistreats Isabella, but Isabella's consenting. She winks when she's playing like a dog, like she's in on it. She writes letters to Kathy like she's in on it. She's consenting to everything.
Yeah, and not only that, but then as well, like, I would say definitely for the first 3/4 of the film, I couldn't find really anything that Heathcliff had done wrong. No. When he said he was going to kill her husband, that was like, oh. And there was a few things that had like controlling red flag elements as far as relationships go. And that progressively got worse throughout the film. But like you said, you sympathised.
Yeah. And then the other non-white character, Edgar Linton, who now becomes snivelly and a bit horrible, and then also worships the colour of the white woman by building her a shrine of white skin. You just think,
Ooh, yeah.
what the flipping heck?
Yeah.
So oh,
Although,
aren't I be?
why would you see Edgar as a villain in the film? Because what's Edgar done wrong?
Well, it's not that he's a villain in the film, but they make him like he's like a cook, isn't he? Like a completely snivelly and
Yeah, I get what you mean. Irrelevant.
yeah,
Well, not
yeah,
irrelevant, but an obstacle in the way of. Yeah, I know what you mean. The kind of vibe that is. Yeah,
yeah.
it's gone
And
for
then
that.
worshipping the
Yeah.
white woman and worshipping her white skin. So I think
Yeah.
it's one of these things where I think Emerald Fennell is, and I don't think she's racist, and I don't think, but
Yeah.
I think that's the point. I don't think she's thought about any of these things
Yeah.
and what it means when you say it. And people do that when they
So she's not
haven't been
digested the book
confronted
as
with.
to what. Yeah.
But then also by saying, oh, it doesn't matter who's black and who's white in a film, when that's true, and who's cast as this, it doesn't really matter. And that's true to a point, but not when the story is about slavery and it's about otherness.
Yes,
And
I
it's
see
about
what you mean. Yeah, why
and it's about the
created.
mistreatment.
Yeah.
It's about mistreatment of the
Yeah.
only non-white
And to then
person
call
in
it
a
the
story.
name of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do get where you're coming from there. So if you were rating this film as not Wuthering Heights, would you give it a Gen Z win? Naming it as Wuthering Heights, would you give it a Gen Z loss?
I might give
Or
it a
would
Gen
you
Z
give them
win
both?
if they just said, "Oh, it's a film about," and it's loosely based on Wuthering Heights because this is what I took
Yep.
from the book when I was this age, and and
Yes, I see what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
to,
but it's
to
not
say,
Wuthering Heights. It's my
no,
adaptation, so I've named it this, and this is how I felt at the time. And yeah, I get what you mean there. Yeah,
because Emily Bronte she has written an extremely layered, complex book about slavery, about the
yeah,
generational violence that brings to it, what it does to the people around slavery, and the mistreatment
Yeah.
of people who are othered, people not like those around them, and what that does,
yeah,
how they feel, and what then, it's no wonder people rebel and are full of spite and
yes,
viciousness if they are treated so appallingly.
yeah. If they try that, yeah, horrendously, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you aren't careful about how you tell a story, and I think you can be accidentally racist.
yeah. I think that's the same with anything, though. If you don't take care in certain stories, you can sometimes get messages across that you don't mean to. With anything,
And it feels like that this is being so carelessly done. It sends out a
Yeah.
really to worship the white woman. What the fuck?
yeah, could paint the room the color of her
Yeah.
skin. I do get where you're coming from there, and like you said, I don't think it was done purposefully, but I can see your thoughts on it. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't done purposely, but it's careless and it's reckless, and it's not. I don't think it's okay in this day and age to not think about these things. When I think, and people say it all the time, and it makes me roll
Yeah.
my eyes as well when I hear it and say it. But you do need to check your privilege.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a Gen Z win as Wuthering Heights, but it is a Gen Z win if we call it what would we call it? Let's give it our
I don't
own
know.
name.
Love in the fog. Affairs of the
Love
fog.
in the fog. Yeah, it was all foggy, wasn't it? Yeah, there was so much fog.
Yeah. Foggy love.
Yeah. Foggy love.
Foggy sex.
Yeah. So it's a Gen Z win for foggy love. Yeah.
Gen Z win. Love in the fog.
Yeah. All right, I'll settle for that.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, test. It's me. It's a test. I've come home now. So cold. Let me in and answer questions.
That's fab. I wasn't expecting that at all. You'll have to watch that back and see me go from like normal to like, what the hell?
Well, do you know what? I wasn't expecting that either. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, well, that's really good you did that improv.
Question 1, H.
Yep.
In the beautifully written and morally complex, layered book, Wuthering Heights, written in 1847,
Yes.
the character, Isabella, is a strong, independent woman who, when realizing she's in an abusive relationship, runs away to bring up her child as a single parent at a time when that was deemed to be scandalous, therefore showing her to be an amazing woman. How is that character, Isabella, portrayed in the 2026 film Wuthering Heights in quotation marks?
Okay, so in foggy love,
In
I
Foggy
would
Love.
say, I would say Isabella is portrayed as somebody who is insecure, lonely, and in need of validation, not very independent, and a bit obsessed, and with some odd tendencies towards other characters, like making dolls out of hair and things like that.
Do you know what, H? I've just realised that this is a ridiculous test, and I'm not going to answer those questions. I'm just going to think of 4 new ones now, because this is ridiculous. All right, so
Okay.
now
Think about your questions.
this test, I'm going.
We should
to...
do like we should rename the characters.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe a character from the Wuthering Heights book, and you have to identify and name them from the film.
Ooh.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll call this Name This Character.
Yes.
Who is collected as a child, likely a slave, turns up at Wuthering Heights, unable to speak English, speaking gibberish, is not the same colour skin as everybody else, and grows up to be a vicious, nasty piece of work because he is constantly mistreated and abused as a child. Name that character.
You could arguably have gone Nelly in the first half of that from the film. But I know from what you've told me that it's Heathcliff, because it says him and the abuse that I can, yeah, Heathcliff.
Okay. In the Wuthering Heights book written by Emily Bronte, who has blonde hair, blue eyes, is wealthy, lives with his sister,
Ooh.
looks after his wife really well when they get married, is probably the only person to stand
Edgar.
up. is the only person to stand up to Heathcliff to the point where at one point he punches him in the throat.
Whoa, Edgar's
When they
got
get into
so much more about him in the book.
Yeah, he punches him in the throat. Actually, he punches him in the throat and then runs off.
Okay, still more than Edgar in the film.
Yeah. So, who is this? He works as part of the household for
Yeah.
Wuthering. So, question 3, H. In
Yeah.
the novel written by Emily Bronte, this
Yeah.
character works in the Wuthering Heights / Earnshaw household. He's an old man, very pious. He's constantly preaching from the Bible. He's constantly talking about the scriptures. And he has a broad Yorkshire accent so thick that not many people can understand him. And when it's written on the page, it's really hard to read. And he's by far the oldest person in the book.
Well, the only person I could think of would be Catherine's dad. I've forgotten his name. Other than that, I literally can't think of anyone.
No, it's Joseph.
Really?
Yeah, because the character in the film is completely different.
Joseph, the one that's doing the stuff in the barn?
Do you know what? Actually, Joseph and Zilla have probably the best relationship in that film because they go off in the night, don't they? And they're enjoying themselves and having a good time. It's obviously consensual, isn't it, between the two of them? And then later on in the film, when Kathy says, "Oh, Joseph, how's Zilla doing?" And you went, "Oh, she's off into town. She's getting married." Well, aren't you bothered? No, I'm really happy for her that she's happy and we have fun.
She's got a child now, and yeah.
Yeah, so they have their the healthiest relationship.
So in the book, he's really quite old then.
Yeah, he's the oldest member of the household, and he's really pious. He just tells everybody Bible stories all the time, and he's really.
Oh yeah, that's quite different to the film. Yeah, I wouldn't have got that one.
Name a character in the Wuthering Heights novel written by Emily Bronte. Which character grows up? She's young, a little bit brattish. She's always contrary. She gets attacked by a dog. She gets attacked by a Gillinton's dog and is injured that badly that she can't walk home. She has to stay there for several weeks. And then she continues to be bratty when she gets home and dies giving birth to her child.
Oh, okay. Well, when you said has to stay in recovery for 6 weeks after being bit by the dog, I thought this has got to be Kathy, but I wanted more context.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? She gets viciously attacked by Eglinton's dog.
Wow.
Yeah. There's lots of dogs mentioned in the books, and I think it's all about control and power and.
Yeah.
Anyway, question 5, H. What snack did I eat whilst watching Wuthering Heights?
So, when did you watch this film?
Well, I've watched it a couple of times, H. But there was one time where I had a snack. Well, I had my tea watching it. And actually, this was part of my tea. It was a snack that I had before my tea. And it was a snack that, as I was eating, Ferdinand the dog went absolutely nuts for it. And he loved it. We shared it.
Marzipan.
No.
Oh.
Do you know what, H? You're not gonna get it. You won't believe it. And it's about as Yorkshire as you can get.
Go on.
I'll give you a clue. I got it from a chippy.
What? chip butty.
A mushy pea fritter.
Ooh. That sounds ace.
Ferdinand went nuts for it. And we shared it. It was really, mushy pea fritter. It was great. I had it before I had my
That
tea.
does sound ace.
They are good. Which you don't get them in Yorkshire, do you? Is that a Nottingham thing, mushy pea fritters?
No.
You don't get them, do you? I never saw them.
I haven't heard of them, but they sound amazing, and they do sound up the Yorkshire Street. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a big, about the size of your palm, which is just a round thing of mushy peas in batter, deep fried. Oh, they're good, H.
Yeah.
Oh, they're good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're great down here in Nottingham. I'll tell you what we don't get. We don't get proper fish cakes down here. You get rubbish fish cakes in Nottingham.
Really?
Yeah, because Yorkshire fish cakes are the best ones, aren't they? You know, you get a layer of potato and then a layer of fish and a layer of potato in batter. The terrible fish cakes down here, H. They're not good. Do you know what they have in Nottingham, right? You know, at bonfire night or in around that time of year when you have pie and peas, don't you? You have like a pork pie, mushy peas and mint sauce, right? In Nottingham, they have pie and peas, but they don't have any pie with it. They just have peas.
What, so they just have peas?
Yeah.
That's so weird. They've clearly got a thing about peas.
Yeah, you just buy like a little, like, you know, like a coffee cup, like the styrofoam, polystyrene white cups that you drink, that you get coffee out of.
Yeah.
The ones that it could, inside there could be molten hot lava, but the outside of it is so cold you can just hold it in your hand like that, right? One of those.
Yeah.
Full of mushy peas. With a spoon, that's it.
That's crazy. Do you know what? That's nice because that's gallbladder inclusive. That because mushy peas are fat free, or you can get fat free mushy peas. So when everybody else is eating their pies and you're feeling horrible, really last year when everybody was eating pies in front of me, I should have been in Nottingham eating mushy peas with everyone.
Yeah. Well, no, mushy pea fritters. That's the best thing.
Well.
It's not quite the same. Now, do you know what? I would normally say it's time for this and then play the burger review theme tune, but my phone's all the way over there because it's next to the window to get a good internet reception because I'm tethered to it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can't play the theme tune, so let's do it together. Ready?
I am not doing the theme tune with you. It is 10:30 at night.
Oh, come on, H. Right. It's time for this. It's Burger Stews.
No.
Burger review. It's Burger Stews. Burger review. It's Burger Stews. Burger review. It's Burger Stews. Burger review. It's eating a burger, then he maxes out of 5.
It was nice to have it live for once, though.
He's eating a burger and he's marking it out of 5. This week, H, I've gone award-winning. Again.
Ooh.
I think this is the second time I've gone award-winning. Isn't it?
Okay.
Now.
But is it Burger Stew award-winning?
No. But it's up there.
Okay.
Now, this
Okay.
is... this is Honest Burger, H.
Yeah.
And they're a chain. So that's good for a chain, isn't it? And they've just won the 2026 Burger of the Year award.
Wow, okay.
I don't know who the governing body who awards the award for Burger of the Year. I mean, it wasn't me.
It's you.
No, it wasn't me. But anyway, this was the Honest Burger at Honest Burger. 4.6.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So promise it. Were you let down though? Were you expecting a 5?
Do you know what? I wasn't, because it was a chain, and I don't think you can get that sort of love for a burger, for somebody making a burger in that sort of a chain. However, for a chain restaurant.
But
It was
4.6 is high.
4.6. What?
Sorry,
I
you
lost you now.
froze then.
So did you?
I just said 4.6 is high for a
Yeah,
chain.
it was impressive. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it said it had really thick bacon, but for me, it was
Yeah.
actually the bacon was a bit too thick for me. It had homemade relish, cheese, pickles, onions, and actually, even though it had pickles, it didn't even need the pickles.
Whoa.
I know, and I love a pickle, as we discussed last week.
Yeah.
Nobody loves a pickle
We
more than
did.
me. Yeah. Actually, it was the National Burger Awards 2026. Won UK's best burger. But even though it didn't need the pickles,
Wow.
it was still well balanced. Maybe it did need the pickles. It was well balanced, well put together. It was.
Yeah.
It was a really good burger. All the tastes were in there. I think maybe if the bacon wasn't so thick, because it was a little bit overpowering, I think.
Do you think it could have got like a 4.8 or a 4.9 with if the bacon was a bit
No,
more?
it wouldn't have been that high.
No.
It probably wouldn't have gone much over a 4.6, maybe a
You
4.65.
take it so seriously.
But, hey, burgers are a serious business.
Well, clearly.
Don't be mucking about with a burger.
Don't be mucking about with burgers.
Don't be mucking about with burgers. So anyway, if you're looking for a place, so I had that in Cardiff. I don't know where Honest Burgers are.
Yeah.
I bet they're all over the place. So
Yeah.
get you sent down. to
I
Honest
think I've heard
Burger.
of them before, actually.
Yeah, worth it, definitely. And I think they had a deal where it was only 15 quid for the burger with fries.
That's so expensive. Like, I swear that I'm always shocked at the price of takeout food now. Like, now I don't do fast food. When I hear how much it is, it does take me by surprise.
Oh, and I had a pot of gravy with it, and all the gravy was good. Good gravy.
That's good.
Yeah,
Like,
really
as good as
gravy.
KFC gravy?
No. As if. Come on,
it?
H. As if.
Would that have bumped it up to a 5?
H, you could put KFC gravy on anything to make it a 5. Yeah. Lemon meringue, cup of tea, a sock.
Kiwi.
Yeah, just put KFC gravy
Stock.
on. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old pair of pants. Yeah. Pile of eggs on your bed. Right. So, H, I think we're all done there.
Yeah.
Apart from what's your telly been?
Do you know what? I don't think I've really watched any telly. I tell you what we have been watching, and I can't stop watching, and I don't know why. It just came up on our YouTube, and we just watched them over and over and over. Is Chris Hansen Takedown.
What's that?
And I don't know.
First of all, what's that?
Do you know who Chris?
And second of all, who's that?
Do you know
No, I
who
don't
Chris
know.
Hansen is?
No.
So Chris Hansen used to have a show, and I'm pretty sure it's called To Catch a Paedophile, and now it's called Takedown, and he basically works as part of a unit that they basically have a unit to catch online predators and hold them accountable for what they could be doing to children online. But they usually walk in the house and they have a decoy there, or that's what they call them, which is an actor who is obviously working with the police force unit. And it's a really big, like, Chris Hansen's really quite famous, and the guy, or in fact that we've only really ever seen guys. It's only ever been guys, actually. They walk in, and then she goes, right, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be back in a second. And she's, posing as like a 13, 14-year-old in the house on her own. And then she goes in the bathroom and Chris Hansen comes back out. So it's like, it's the shock of that moment. And some of them, because we're in the later seasons now, and Chris Hansen's been doing this for years, like I said, because he's quite famous in America, they know him. And as soon as they see him, they go, oh, God, because they know what's going on at that second. And I don't know why, but I can't stop watching it. Like, there's something about, I think it's the crime element. Like, like when you watch Police Interceptors and you get in a loop of watching Police Interceptors. I don't know what it is. I think it's the because Chris Hansen, he's not a detective, he's not a police officer, he's a psychologist.
Okay.
And he talks about patterns in behaviour. They don't, like, they had somebody the other week, like, obviously just stand there and he says, like, your behaviour's wrong and this is why it's wrong and things like that. But he's not the law enforcer, he's not there to arrest them, he's not there to do anything like that. He interviews them and asks them questions about themselves and their life and things like that, and what led them obviously to make that decision to lead to this outcome. So it's really bizarre. So that's what I've been watching this week.
Mm. You broke up quite a lot then, Age. I missed a lot of that.
Nothing interesting. Just speed that bill.
We watched a TV show called Legends. It's on the Netflix.
Mum and Dad have been watching that about drugs in the 90s.
About drugs in the 90s. Yeah. About customs officers.
Is it worth a watch?
It is worth a watch. Yeah. It's really good. There's a few missteps in it. It's not the greatest, and but it's really exciting and it's worth watching. Yeah, there's some bits in it where you think, as if, or you think, that character's a bit unbelievable, or that line, that dialogue, that would never.
Yeah.
Or there's some clumsy.
You have become a critic, though.
But it's really
You could
exciting.
just watch it and enjoy it.
Well, that's what I did, and I did enjoy it, and it's worth watching.
Good.
And it's only 6 episodes,
Good.
so and it doesn't drag.
That's
on
a bonus, actually. That
good.
That does entice me more to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. Well worth watching. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Some funny bits. It's good. Actually, I'm going to cut that out because that's a joke that somebody else used to say a lot.
What's that?
3 out of 5. Some funny bits.
Do you know what? I don't think anybody's gonna. I don't think anyone's gonna. I think that's just a general statement that somebody could have said.
Anyway, now there is a TV program that I want to watch, H, and I think you should watch it too. And it's Panorama on the BBC. It's on iPlayer, and it's like a behind-the-scenes expose of maths.
Oh no! I know what's been going on there. Yeah.
Oh, why have you heard about it?
I do feel like we do.
Caroline's told me something.
I have heard about it.
Oh well, I haven't heard too much about it, but I want to see it, and I wonder if it'll make me not watch maths.
I haven't heard loads and loads. I've just heard headlines in the news.
Yeah, so I wonder if they'll stop making it.
I do believe that Channel 4 dropped it.
Have they really? Yeah.
I do believe so. I mean, like, when we've reviewed it in the past, like, we never fail to say, like, it's problematic. There's a lot of problematicness.
But we do like the drama.
Yeah, but that's the same with anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, I think that's it. H, how do people get in touch with us? Which they should.
which they should. We've got an email, mygenerationgap@gmail.com, Instagram, mygenerationgap, Facebook, mygenerationgap, YouTube, mygenerationgap. You can comment on Spotify. That's probably the easiest way. And we don't have TikTok.
No TikTok. Permaband.
Permaband.
Yeah. Still don't know why.
Still don't know why. In fact, I saw an account the other day and I clicked on it and it said, this account is permanently banned. And I thought, well, why am I following it? And I thought, I know what that is.
Oh, really? He didn't even tell you the name of it?
No, I think it's just a lot of letters now. Or like unknown or whatever. It just says this account is banned, but I'm pretty certain it was that.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
Right. Well, I have to go now, H, because it's late and I've got no more energy. I can feel the energy
I'm falling
sapped
asleep.
out of us. I hope when I listen to this back, it's not completely just us falling asleep.
That we don't just taper off and fall asleep like halfway through.
I hope we can get some good stuff out of it, or else we'll be doing it again.
Yeah. To be fair, we've got an hour and 45. There'll be some points.
You can tell when we're tired because it feels like we haven't done anything and we've been talking for nearly 2 hours. And all right.
Yeah.
So Romeo and Juliet. Next, I'll find it and I'll send it to you. All right.
Yeah.
Love you, night.
All right. Love you, night.